Hello and welcome back to the Folklore Hiking Stick Workshop. Today I'm going to talk about the coloration of the hiking sticks I produce when I don't add any colour through stains or paints. And that's probably only 2% of my total volume. 98% of the sticks I produce, all coloration will be natural. It will be inherently in the wood, and all it will be done is brought out of the wood using either varnish or boiled linseed oil. I use a good quality yacht varnish, and that dries clear as glass, and any underlying colours really do pop out, and they're quite striking. But predominantly I'll use a boiled linseed oil, and that's what pretty much most customers want anyway. This has a very light and faint honey colour to it, and that does go into the wood to a point. It doesn't present a strong colour, but if you look at it you can see that underlying hint of honey there. But that doesn't detract from the natural coloration in the wood. Now, we're going to talk about the fact that a lot of people do still keep asking me, you must have coloured that wood. And we'll go out into the first part of the workshop and I'll show you a batch of sticks I've been working on for quite a while. Days really, but I've had to put them on hold. I've had to go back to doing custom orders, because quite simply that's my most demanding part of my job, and obviously most important because it's a custom order and I have to get them away on time. The batch that I've got, is for me to sell personally, so I can afford to put them a few days back. But we'll have a look, because there is a volume of them and you can see the array of colours I get, and they've all been done using boiled linseed oil, and none of them have had stain, paint or anything applied to get those various colours. All the same species of wood, which is hazel, and you can quite evidently see the variation in wood colours. So let's go and have a look. Right, you can evidently see this is a number of hiking sticks there. They are pretty much dried, they've been wiped clean, and they're in the very last few hours, just sitting there, letting the boiled linseed fully cure and dry off. And as you can already see, there is a wide variety of colours, patterns, marbling, tie-dye effects, and it ranges from very light cream to tan, brown, and even going into dark chocolate. So it is clearly evident, just showing you this, and all these hiking sticks are from the same yearly batch of wood. There are no difference in years. So when I'm actually processing my sticks down, and I've got two from this morning that I started stripping, they look pretty identical, but I can already tell one of them will more than likely give me some coloration. This one, for example, this area up here will provide me with a marbled effect, and further down the actual stick you can see this, it looks like a tide mark or a watermark, but it's not. It's natural coloration there, and I know that will go dark tan or a brown colour with this cream wood. The one underneath it, I'm looking at that one, and there's some patches along here which looks like they will actually go brown, but it won't be a completely brown stick because I have some very cream bits further along the stick. So that one is going to be multicoloured in itself. So neither of these will be fully dark brown. Now, moving on to these two here, which yet again I've been processing down today. As you can see, I do sticks in batches. You can see, for me to determine what the wood is going to be on a natural stick becomes even harder, because quite simply, when I strip this small patch off to do the wood burning and put my logo on, I don't have a big area to have a look at to get to measure what this wood is going to be. And in fact, what I've stripped, once it's treated, that will be the only part of the stick which will be natural wood to look at. So in a kind of way, it makes no difference on a natural stick, because the feature is the bark in itself. Now I've got two hiking sticks here where it becomes glaringly obvious the contrast of colours that you can get using hazelwood when it's received the same product, and the results that you can get. So without any further ado, here's my battle axe model, and this is the Valhalla models. And as you can see instantly, the bottom one, the top part of the actual shaft, is absolutely cream, and the top one is dark coffee. And if I bring it down, you can see it gradually fades down to darker wood on the top, but the bottom one, from the cream, is beginning to fade into that dark colour, and it becomes as dark as the top one at the very bottom. I've yet to polish out and bring the copper tips up to a shine. That and lanyards will finish these off. The point of what I'm showing you here is the difference in the actual colours. The same wood, the same finishing product, and that is the difference you can expect. There's very little you can do to influence that unless you use products to stain, and as I said, I don't. But what I would say is that is the beauty of like the sticks I produce. Everyone is individual, everyone is going to be different, and it's just so beautiful to handle something like that, and you know it's a one-off. They are wild wood, they are from nature, they're not processed down from bigger circumference logs which have been brought down into the heartwood, which can be more of a uniformed colour than the complete stick, which will be from 8 to 14 years old. So that is the difference that I actually work with. Yet again, looking at the colorations here, you can see on the handle I've got some real dark chocolate colours flowing down into cream, into tan. It's almost got a marbled effect coming down past the bird or songbird I've done, with some real striking colours, like almost like lightning bolts of colour coming down into some more cream, and as we roll through it goes darker again. Yet again, I have to polish the tip, but the contrast from the top, absolutely stunning and beautiful. That's why I love working with hazel, and I love the process I have adopted in working hazel that accentuates all the natural colours. It's just natural beauty at its best. Yet again, real vanilla cream with some nice markings. That's either a vine or a fungus there. Some patches of darker coloration going back into cream. More natural vine marks coming down, going into darker wood and different shades of darker wood down to the tip. Same thing, haven't polished. But you can see the beauty and the difference. Two different sticks, and that, you know, I've wood burned some birds on there, but you can see the difference. Each individual stick is going to be individual to the person who's bought one of my hiking sticks. And out of that batch that we've just got out there in the main part, this is probably the lightest one I've got. And as you can see, even then it comes into a very faint tan colour there from the top part, which is cream. And it's got a mottled effect here, almost marbled effect. It's got a hare looking at the moon, which kind of fits in with that, and it kind of looks very nice. But that's like one of the lighter ones. And yet again, here's another slightly darker one, although it's not the darkest one out of the batch. It's got a stag's head. And as you can see, it's not as dark as the first Battle Axe model one you did see. So yeah, all those sticks, all produced in the same manner, all dried the same, and they came from the same year of harvesting, and they've had the same boiled linseed treatment. Yet I have a wide breadth of colours, and indeed the depth and the strength of colour that's coming out is completely different from stick to stick. So from that you can see that I have a wide range of colours, and you know, that is part of the beauty of being a crafter. I can put the work in to determine a project and do what I want with that stick to give it my overall vision, how I want it to look. But largely, unless I start using stains and paints and things like that, the wood still retains some of its natural beauty, and as it was when I harvested it from whatever location. So that then brings me on to the point that it is quite simply down to nature that provides those colours in the wood. And those colours will be the result of age, when it was harvested, the environmental conditions at the time or when it was growing, the speed of growth, how much you know, nutrients and what type of nutrients it pulled out of the soil. So there's a wide range of instruments or mechanisms that can give the wood its colorations, and that is in the same species of wood. So I can harvest from one valley 3 miles to my left and go 3 miles to my right in another valley, and those trees can produce varying degrees of different colorations of wood. One valley might be producing, you know, extremely light coloured wood, where another one, by and large, it can be slightly darker. That's not a given, because yet again you're dealing with nature and the chaos of nature and the beauty of nature, where no two things are the same. And that is relayed in my hiking sticks. So getting back to the fact that if I want to control the colours within a stick, and they are really important for it to be, you know, darker than the wood that I've got or more uniformed, I can opt for something like wood dyes to give it that kind of complete uniformed look. Personally, I don't like that because it looks like it's one of those, you know, not manufactured, mass-produced sticks. My sticks still retain that little bit of the element of, how I like to say, from the forest, from the hedgerows, you know, from the woods. That's how I like my sticks to appear. If you start making everything too uniformed, it can look too man-made, if that makes any sense. But yeah, you can use stains and wood dyes, or you can go to products that, like the boiled linseed. If you pick a manufacturer where the actual boiled linseed is 2 or 3, if not 4 stages darker than what I've got here, this very light honey colour, obviously that will tone any cream or light parts of the stick down to bring it more darker and more uniformed. But you have to understand that would still, doing it by that method, would mean the darker patches would seem darker than the bits, the lighter parts, which you've brought back into being dark. So your only real way would be to use, if you wanted a complete uniform, stains or wood dyes. So that ultimately brings me back to the question, are my sticks natural in all their colorations? Yes, they are, and I'm proud to say I tend not to mess around with the coloration. I like them to look natural, appear natural, and for the people to actually, when they hold them, know that is how that stick grew and that is natural in its entirety. Well then, that covers the topic of why my sticks are the colours they are, and they are natural. I don't make them that way by using artificial coloration. That is natural, 90%, unless I'm specifically aiming for that look. Now, some very important news for the workshop. I've been commissioned to do a staff for a town crier in a local town. Now, it's not just about doing a staff for the town crier. It has to have a Celtic influence and pagan influence, and it's going to be used in ceremonies involving Cornish bards. Now, a Cornish bard is, like most Celtic nations, will be referencing back to the days pre-Christianity, where stories of old of the land, the people, the animals, the folklore and legend would all come together to produce a oral story, you know, around the Cornish people, land and themes. So and it's been commissioned by the local council, so I'm really honoured and, you know, pleased that I've been considered to make this item. So I will bring you guys along on this, because this is something vastly and wildly different than anything I usually get asked to do. But not only that, I'm totally honoured to be considered, you know, good enough and warrant being asked to make it. So yeah, till we get onto that project, take care, stay safe, and you've been here in the Folklore Hiking Stick Workshop with me. Till next time, take care.